Yeah, welcome. So the topic we'll be discussing in this lecture is bidirectional search. So again, this is a part of uninformed search techniques. We'll not be discussing deep about bidirectional search. We'll be discussing in brief what is a bidirectional search, and then we'll be discussing a summary of all the uninformed search techniques that we have discussed so far, and then we'll be moving on to informed search techniques, which is also called as heuristic search techniques. Okay, fine. So a bidirectional search is something like this. As the name says, the search goes in two direction. So basically it will maintain two frontier. It will maintain two frontier. One is called as frontier 1 or frontier, you can call it as frontier F, which continues the search in the forward direction, and the other will be frontier B, which will continue the search in the backward direction. So this frontier F will continue the search from initial state. It will start the search from the initial state, and it will try to reach the goal state. Whereas this frontier B, from here with frontier B, we will start from goal state. We'll start from goal state and we will try to search in the backward direction and try to reach the initial state. So what is expected in the sense, the algorithm will meet at one point. That is, there are two searches which is happening parallelly. One is in the forward direction, the other one is in the backward direction. So these two will meet at one point. So they will meet. So once this meet, no, then already you got the solution. Because here the backward search contains the uh, traveling path from the goal state to this uh, place where you have met. Similarly, the forward search, it contains the list of nodes which lies from the initial state to the state where you have met. So, so this is how bidirectional search works. So basically two search will be going on parallelly. One will be in the forward direction, one will be in the backward direction. The forward direction search, it starts from the start state and it will try to uh, go on find the goal state. And the backward direction search, it starts with the goal state and it will try to find the and it will try to reach the initial state. But the expected thing is the both the algorithm should meet at one point, then we will get the solution. So why we are doing this? Is there any advantage? Yes, there is an advantage. The advantage is the worst case time complexity of the worst case time complexity of BFS and DFS is order of B to the power D. But when you do bidirectional search, what happens means this forward direction, it is expected to its complexity is expected to be order of B to the power D by 2. Okay, where D represents the length depth at which the solution is available. Now this forward search will not go towards the full depth. It is expected to complete at the mid. So it is, instead of order of B to the power D, it becomes order of B to the power D by 2. Similarly, the backwards search also, it is order of B to the power D by 2. Right? So so actually actually the time complex, so if you see the time complexity, it is of the order of B by 2. That's it. Time complexity is order of B to the power D by 2. Actually the time complexity will be B to the power D by 2 plus B to the power D by 2. But when we mention as time complexity, it is a factor of B to the power D by 2. So we just mention order of B to the power D by 2. So the point is b to the power d by 2 plus b to the power d by 2, this value is very much lesser than b to the power d. Okay, b to the power d by 2 plus b to the power d by 2 is very much lesser than b to the power d. So you can check out by making some small calculation. Let us assume b is equal to 10 and d also equal to 10. If b is equal to 10 and d is equal to 10, then what is that? Let us do a small calculation. If b is 10 and d is 10, then what is b to the power d? So b is 10, so it is 10 to the power 10. So 10 to the power 10. Okay, right. So basically it is 10 followed by this many zeros, 9 zeros. Okay, but what is b to the power d by 2 plus b to the power d by 2? So now d becomes 5. So d by 2, so b is, let us assume b is 10, d by 2 is 5. So it is b to the power 5 plus b to the power 5. So 10 to the power 5 plus 10 to the power 5. Actually it's very much smaller number than that, right? So it is much smaller than the other value. Okay, so this is the advantage. So to get this advantage, we are interested in bidirectional search. So the advantage is it delays the exponential growth by reducing the exponent for time and space complexity in half. So not only time complexity, it also reduces the space complexity. Both time complexity and space complexity is reduced by half. Disadvantage, at every time point the two fringes must be compared. This requires an efficient hashing data structure. So the two fringes should be compared to make sure that they are exploring this relevant path. Okay, if this fringe is expanding here and if this fringe is expanding here, then they will never meet. They should follow the same direction so that they can meet. So the bidirectional search also requires to search backward. This is not always possible. This is another drawback. Okay, so here is a comparison of all the uninformed search strategies which we have discussed so far. So it is nothing but this table just summarizes whatever we have discussed so far. So if you take breadth first search, is it complete? Yes, it is complete, but under a condition. There is a condition A. What is that condition? It is complete if B is finite. That is, the branch factor should be finite. You cannot have infinite branch factor. The branch factor is the maximum number of child a node can have. That should be finite. In that case, it is complete. And what is its time complexity? Order of b to the power d. Space complexity, it's order of b to the power d. Is it optimal? Yes, it is optimal with a condition. What condition? With the condition C, if step costs are identical. So if the step costs are identical, then it is optimal. That is, if all step costs are same, then BFS is optimal. If step costs are not same, then we cannot call it as optimal. Okay, because we don't know, because BFS, it just follows the order. It first explores this, then this, then this. Okay, so for example, if this is the goal state, if this is a goal state and this is also the goal state, now if the step costs are not identical, say this path is 10, this path is 5, first it will explore this, then it will say this is the goal, but actually this is the, what you call, this is the optimal goal, because this is of the lesser path. So it is optimal provided if the step cost or all step costs are identical. So this is about breadth first search. Coming to uniform cost search, is it complete? It is complete under these two conditions. There are two conditions. B should be finite and there should not be any zero cost path. Okay. So already we have discussed this also in the algorithm, because if there is any zero cost path in the in between the tree, it may get into infinite loop. And what is the time complexity? So in uniform cost path, it will not be uh, the step cost will not be identical. It is actually each step may have different cost. So that is what is expected for a uniform cost search algorithm, because basically uniform cost search is an improved version of breadth first search with a different step cost. And what is its time complexity? It is order of b to the power c star by epsilon plus 1. So basically it is equal to, or so this also breadth first search also, instead of calling b to the power d, you can call it as b to the power d plus 1 if the goal test is done during expansion. So this c star is nothing but the cost of the optimal path, and epsilon is the step cost. Space complexity is also same. Is it optimal? Yes, it always provides the optimal solution. There is no conditions on that. Depth first search, is it complete? No, it's not complete. Is it optimal? No, it's not optimal. What is the time complexity? Order of b to the power m. It's not order of b to the power d. Please mind it. It is order of b to the power m. M represents the length of the, I mean the depth of the maximum depth of the tree. Space complexity order of bm. Depth limited search, is it complete? No, not complete. Is it optimal? No. Time complexity order of b to the power l, where l is the depth limit. Space complexity order of bl. Iterative deepening depth first search, is it complete? Yes, it is complete with the condition A, that is if b is finite. Its time complexity order of b to the power d. Space complexity order of bd, where d represents the depth of the current depth of the tree. Okay. And is it optimal? Yes, it is optimal with the condition C, that is if step cost all are all identical. Bidirectional search, is it optimal? Yes, it is optimal with two conditions A and D. A is B should be finite, and D is if both direction uses BFS. Both direction should use BFS, then it is optimal. So in bidirection we have not discussed what algorithm it should use. It can use any algorithm, BFS or TFS, anything. Okay. So in both direction, if it uses BFS and if B is finite, then it is optimal. What's the time complexity? Order of b to the power d by 2. Space complexity order of b to the power d by 2. Is it optimal? Yes, with the condition C comma D. That is if step costs are identical and in both directions if it uses BFS, then it is optimal. So that's it about the different uninformed search techniques. So now we will move on to the next class of algorithms, which is called as informed search strategies or informed search techniques. This informed search techniques is also called as heuristic search. Informed search techniques is also called as heuristic search technique. So with uninformed search technique is also called as blind search. That is, the search actually does not provide any direction. There is no, the algorithm was not guided that you can go this way will be, probably you will get the optimal solution in this way. Like that, there is no guidance for the algorithm. So such algorithms are called as uninformed search techniques. But that is not the case with informed search technique. Informed search techniques are called as heuristic search techniques. So heuristic is basically the measure of the correctness, measure of the degree of the correctness. So there is, we have some guiding principle which guides us, like in which direction the search should proceed. Okay. So a search strategy that uses problem specific knowledge can find solutions more efficiently than uninformed search strategy. So this heuristic search techniques are going to use, are going to take advantage of problem specific knowledge. So if a search techniques uses problem specific knowledge, then it can find solutions more efficiently than the uninformed search strategies. Okay. So here we use a generalized approach which is called as best first search technique. We use a generalized search technique which is called as best first search technique, and there are several variants of this best first search techniques that we'll be discussing one by one. So a node is selected for expansion based on an evaluation function. So so uh, next which node should be expanded, that will be decided based on an evaluation function. This evaluation function is also called as heuristic function. This evaluation function is also called as heuristic function. Of course, the algorithm will continue starting from the initial state, but in case of depth first or breadth first, what is the rule? If it is breadth first, you explore all the childs in this order. If it is depth first, you go depth wise. That is how we explore. But here, this heuristic function or this evaluation function will tell next which node should be explored. So informed search technique includes a heuristic function. So this evaluation function can also be called as heuristic function, and this heuristic function we call it as h of n. Sorry, a node is selected for expansion based on an evaluation function. Okay, so this evaluation function is called as f of n. So we have two different functions. Okay, I'm sorry, there are two different functions. One is evaluation function, which is which is not which is different from the heuristic function. Apart from the evaluation function, we have another function, and this function is called as heuristic function. So the informed search algorithm also includes a heuristic function h of n. This heuristic function is a part of this evaluation function. So there are different ways of forming the evaluation function. There are different ways of forming the evaluation function. This is one of the way of forming the evaluation function, which is stated as f of n is equal to g of n plus h of n, where f of n is the evaluation function and h of n is the heuristic function. H of n is the heuristic function. So here, what is heuristic? Heuristic is an estimate. It is an estimate. Actually, it is not the true value. It is an estimate of the cheapest path. So what is heuristic? What is the heuristic function? It is an estimate of the cheapest cost from the current node to the goal state. So that is how for these algorithms we define the heuristic function. Okay. It can be defined in different ways for different algorithms. But for these algorithms, we define the heuristic function like this. The heuristic function is an estimate of the cheapest cost from the current state or from the current node to the goal node. It is an estimate, it is not the fact. Please understand. So f of n is equal to, so this is how we define the evaluation function. F of n is equal to g of n plus h of n. What is f of n? F of n is the evaluation function. H of n is the heuristic function. And what is heuristic function? It is the estimate of the cheapest cost from the current state to the goal state. It is just an estimate. It's not the truth. It may be true or it may not be true. And what is g of n? What is g of n? G of n is the actual cost. G of n is the actual cost from the initial state to the current state. Okay, so please try to understand. G of n is the actual cost from the initial state to the current state. Okay, it's the actual cost. So it is the actual cost from the initial state to the current state. Whereas what is h of n? H of n is the heuristic cost. That is, it is an estimate. It's an estimated cost from the current state to the goal state. Okay. So this is from initial state to the current state, whereas this is from current state to the goal state. And this is the actual cost. G of n is the actual cost. H of n is the estimate. Right? Fine. So this is one way of defining the heuristic. Let us hold on here. and we will come back to this discussion later when we discuss a special algorithm which is called as A-star algorithm. But before that, we will discuss a simple algorithm which is called as greedy best first search algorithm. So first let us start with this algorithm because this algorithm is much simpler. So we'll start with this algorithm which is called as greedy best first search algorithm. So basically it is a this comes under a class of algorithm which is called as greedy algorithm. So we call it as greedy best first algorithm. Okay. So here for greedy best first algorithm, the evaluation function is defined like this. Evaluation function is defined just f of n is equal to h of n. It's not defined as f of n is equal to g of n plus h of n. So generally the evaluation function will be f of n is equal to g of n plus h of n. But greedy best first search, it don't take that as the evaluation function. It takes evaluation function as directly as f of n is equal to h of n. That's it. Okay. So it means that h of n is defined in the same way. H of n is the estimated cost, cheapest estimated cost from the current state to the goal state. So it always makes decision only based on that estimate. Nothing else it includes because there is no g of n. So all its decisions were only based on that estimate. Okay. So now let us recall the. So we will be discussing this greedy best first search algorithm for this uh, root finding problem, whatever we have previously discussed. Okay. So this is basically a graph of Romania, where different cities are there, and what is the cost of reaching from one city to another city. It is specified in this graph. So now we are going to apply greedy best first search to this map for for reaching from where to where, for reaching from Arad to. So our initial state is Arad. Let us assume that our initial state is Arad. This is the initial state, and the goal state is Bucharest. We have to move from Arad to Bucharest. Okay. The initial state is Arad, and the goal state is Bucharest. And the algorithm that we are using is the heuristic algorithm, and it's a very simplest form of heuristic algorithm which is called as greedy best first search algorithm. And this is the evaluation function it uses. F of n is equal to h of n. So h of n is the estimated cost from the current state to the goal state. So what is h of n? So this is how we define h of n, but specifically what is h of n? So here h of n, we are what we are taking, in the sense we are taking as straight line distance. H of n we are considering a straight line distance between two cities. Okay, so let us assume that we know the straight line distance between all the cities. So there cannot be any distance which is lesser than the straight line distance. Okay. So there cannot be any true distance which is lesser than the straight line distance. So that we are going to consider the straight line distance as our estimated h of n, because h of n itself is estimate. It's an estimate of the cheapest cost. It is not the actual cost. It is an estimate. It is just an estimate. So we are considering the straight line distance as the h of n. So how these values were, we know, in the sense, let us assume that somebody already calculated the straight line distance between all these cities, and that is available in some database, and we have taken that. For solving this problem, we have taken that. That's it. Okay. So this particular table, what it shows, in the sense, it just shows the straight line distance. Now our goal state is what? Bucharest. So we are interested only in reaching to Bucharest from different cities. So this table, it basically shows the straight line distance between every city to Bucharest. So this is straight line distance from Arad to Bucharest. It is 366 kilometers or miles, whatever it may be. And this is straight line distance from Bucharest to Bucharest. It is 0. This is straight line distance from uh, Craiovia to Bucharest. It is 160 kilometers. Straight line distance from Drobeta to Bucharest 242. Straight line distance from Efori to Bucharest 161. So on and so forth. So let us assume that this straight line distance is already available, readily available somewhere else, or someone has given us, and that we are going to use as the heuristic function. Okay. So heuristic is just an estimate. Okay. So here we are considering the straight line cost as the heuristic. Now with this we are going to continue the algorithm. So initially, the this is the place where the, what do you call, where the agent is here, where the agent is placed. Agent is currently in Arad. Here is agent. This is the initial state. Now from Arad, you see what are the possibilities the agent has. From Arad, where the agent can go. There are only three possibilities. Either he can go to Zerind, or he can go to Sibiu, or he can go to Timisoara. Any one of these three destinations the agent has to choose. Now this algorithm is a greedy best first search algorithm. So what it is going to do in the sense, it will search only, it will identify only that destination, it will identify only, I mean that path from where the heuristic cost of reaching the destination is Bucharest is less. Okay. So it has three choices. It can either go to Zerinth or Sibiu or Timisoara. But out of these three, it will choose that destination, such a destination from where it can reach uh, Bucharest at a cheaper cost, based on the heuristic, only based on the heuristic, not based on these real values. Okay, so actually it does not know this real value. Let us assume that way, because currently the agent is in Arad only. It only knows that it can reach Zerin, it can reach Zibiu, it can reach Timisoara. At what cost it can reach, that it does not know. After reaching only, probably if it takes this path, then it knows that okay, it cost 140. So currently it does not know the cost of reaching the places. Only it knows that I can go to any one of these three places. So where should I go? So where should I go, in the sense the agent will choose that destination from where it can reach the final destination at a cheaper cost. Okay, so that it is called as greedy algorithm. So what are the possibilities we have? We have Zerind, we have Sibiu, and we have Timisoara. Okay, so what the agent will do? Now let us see the refer the uh, this table, which is nothing but the straight line distance table, or heuristic table. So we have three options. What are they? Zerind. Sorry, I forgot. We have three options: Zerind, Sibiu, and Timisoara. Okay. So Zerind, from Zerind, what is the cost of reaching Bucharest? 374. Zerind, Sibiu, from Sibiu, what is the cost of reaching Bucharest? 253. Then Timisoara, from Timisoara, what is the cost of reaching Bucharest? 329. Out of these three, which is the cheapest cost path? Sibiu is the cheapest cost path. Okay. So the algorithm will choose Sibiu, right? So the algorithm, what it will do, from Arad, it will go to Sibiu. Okay. So this is the first decision it makes. So that is represented here. So initially the agent is in Arad. Now from Arad it can go to any of these three destinations, but it is choosing Sibiu. Why it is choosing Sibiu? Because the cost of reaching the final destination, that is Bucharest, from Sibiu is 253, whereas from Timisoara it is 329. From Zerind it is uh, yeah, from Zerind it is 374. That is the reason why it is choosing this path. Okay, so now it has reached Sibiu. From Sibiu, where it can go, what are the options? So So let me delete other things. So now the agent has reached CPU. So this is the path it has chosen because it's a greedy algorithm. It only always at every step it tries to follow the what do you call the heuristic path or the best path. Okay, it reached CPU. Now from CPU where it can go, there are four possibilities. It can go to Aradia, it can go to Arad, it can go to RV, or it can go to Pythagoras. Again do the same thing. So what it should do, where it should go. So again it will do the same thing. That is, what is the cost of reaching to Bucharest from Arad? What is the cost of reaching to Bucharest from Oradea? Everything you have to check. So Arad, Oradea, RV and Pythagoras. Okay. So what is the cost of reaching to Bucharest from Arad? It is 366. Delete other things, otherwise it will confuse. So the cost of reaching to uh, uh, Bucharest from Arad, it is 366. And what's the cost of reaching to Bucharest from Oradea? Where is Oradea? 380. And what's the cost of reaching to Bucharest from RV? 193. And what's the cost of reaching to Bucharest from Fagares? We have Fagares also, right? Where is Fagares? Fagares 176. Out of this, which is the cheaper cost? Which is the cheapest cost? 366, 176, 193, 380. 176 is the cheapest cost. So the algorithm will choose this path. It will, from CPU, it will go to Fagares. Currently it is in CPU. From CPU it has four alternatives, but it chooses Fagares because because as per the straight line distance, that is the heuristic function that we are using. So basically that is the heuristic function, and the heuristic function that we are following is a straight line distance path. So the straight line distance heuristic says that from Fagares the destination can be reached at a cost of 176. So it went to Fagares. Okay. Now again refer the graph from Fagares where it can go. So now it has already reached Fagares. So the agent has already reached Fagares. I mean from Arad it came to CPU, and then from there, so first from Arad it reached CPU, from there it reached Fagares. Now from Fagares where it can go, there are only two possibilities. Either it can go to CPU or it can go to Bucharest. So what it should do, again it just follows it just follows the algorithm. So it just checks what is the cost of reaching, what's the cost of reaching Bucharest from CPU, and what's the cost of reaching Bucharest from Bucharest. That's what it will check. Okay. So what it does. So what's the cost of reaching Bucharest from CPU? So so what is the straight line cost or the heuristic cost or the estimate of reaching Bucharest from CPU? It is 253. And what is the cost of reaching Bucharest from Bucharest? It is 0. So which is the cheapest cost path? This 0. So it will choose that path. So from Fagares, the algorithm will move to, from Fagares, the algorithm has two options. Either it can go to CPU or it can go to Bucharest. But this is the cheapest cost path, so it will go to Bucharest. Okay, fine. So this is how this particular algorithm works. But if you observe, no, this is not an optimal solution. So heuristic functions will not always give an optimal solution. It will give good solution, that's all. It won't guarantee any optimal solution. So this greedy best first search, it has not given us an optimal solution, but it has given some solution. That's it. So it is not basically this algorithm, this particular version of heuristic search, that is this greedy best first search is not an optimal algorithm. So next we will be discussing an algorithm which is called as A-star algorithm, which is optimal. So if you observe this graph of reaching from Arad to Bucharest, uh, so if you see, actually this cost, we are following the greedy best search is following this path, 140 plus 99. What is that? 140 plus 99 is 239. Okay, 239 plus 211. What is that? 239 plus 211, that is 10, 5, 4, 450. The actual cost of reaching Bucharest is 450. Whereas you take this path, Arad to Sibiu and RV, Pitesti and Bucharest. If you see this path, 140 plus 80, that is 220. Okay, up to here 220. 220 plus 97, what is that? 220 plus 97 is 317, right? 317. 317 plus 101. 317 plus 101 is 418. 418. Whereas this is 450. Okay, so this path is actually much better path than this path. So this is actually the optimal path, but this is not the optimal path. So the greedy best first search actually is not giving the optimal path, right? It is not giving the optimal solution, but it does gives a solution. That's it. Okay. So there is an improved version of this search, greedy best first search, and that is called as A-star algorithm. So A-star algorithm uses a different heuristic function. So basically A-star algorithm uses this heuristic function. F of n is equal to g of n plus h of n. And h of n is the estimated cost from the from the current state to the goal state, and g of n is the actual cost from the initial state to the current state. Fine, let us discuss that in the next class. For today's session we'll stop here. Thank you.